very good morning to all of y'all who made it a point to come in so early. Let's get on with the day. YouTube's online revenues are an $11 billion business with 400 hours of video being uploaded every minute, 1.5 billion users, and 1 billion views per day. Facebook revenues are also climbing on the video side. Hulu generates close to $2.5 billion in revenues. Netflix is on the road to generate revenues of about $9 billion this year, with more than 100 million subscribers. And Netflix is also expected to spend about $6 billion on original content, and Reed Hastings says he'd like to spend $7 billion next year. Amazon Prime is spending about $4.5 billion. These are astounding numbers for an industry which did not even exist around 12 years ago, when Chad Hurley and his two partners sold YouTube to Google for about $1.5 billion plus. People might just dismiss these numbers I've talked about earlier as a US-centric phenomena. The fact is, digital video is growing across the globe. And in countries like India, which is a mobile-first country, digital video consumption has been skyrocketing thanks to the price wars for data between the telco majors in recent times. And it looks like it's going to even grow further as data becomes even cheaper in the coming months and years. Majors such as Jio are looking at driving prices of data and even handsets lower down because they're talking about feature phones which can stream content in the not-too-distant future, maybe in the next 6 to 9 months. People will say that DTH and cable TV are cheap in India. But remember, India is a young country. And the young definitely go for the mobile handset first, for watching. Thanks to the popularity of WhatsApp, YouTube, and Facebook. A lot of work has been done by pioneers like Hotstar, Sony Live, and Hotstar has actually crossed the 3-digit figure million download mark. Sony Live at about 33 million, Woot with around similar double-digit million mark. Yup TV also has similar figures, but globally. What is happening today is business models are being explored, whether it should be AVOD, whether it should be SVOD, whether it should be TVOD, whether it should be freemium, all kinds of models are being explored, whether it should be branded, brand-supported content. Also, price points are ranging between $20 a month to $800, $900 per month for Netflix. No one is talking about break-evens, and rightly so, as now it is build-up time for the entire VOD ecosystem, just like cable and satellite TV did in the 90s. Then they were talking about 7-year timeframes to get a return on the investment and breaking even. Let's say another 4 or 5 years down the line, VOD becomes a reality in terms of profits and bottom line revenues, and bottom lines and revenues. We can imagine what could happen here. Though Jamie from BARC might disagree with me that American trends may not replicate here. A Netflix study earlier this year showed that people are watching comedy for breakfast. When it premiered, a show which premiered on television at 8 p.m. is being watched in the morning. 6 a.m., that's what the Netflix study showed. Members are more likely to watch comedy compared to the rest. I'll just get these numbers clear, rest of the day. At high noon, it's drama. Members of Netflix pay a visit to the ladies of Litchfield at lunch. Across the world, drama accounts for nearly half of viewing between noon and 2 p.m. It's an increase of 5% compared to the rest of the day. Midday streaming is especially prevalent in Brazil, where members are 25% more likely to watch at this time compared to the rest of the world. And people using shows like Shameless, Grey's Anatomy, and Orange is the New Black are strictly evening fare when they're actually being watched in the afternoon. Thrillers like Walking Dead, Stranger Things, Breaking Bad are being enjoyed in the evening. Globally, this genre sees a 27% increase come 9 p.m. The thrillers are being kicked out by 11 p.m. And shows like Leslie Knope, Parks and Recreation, Master of None, BoJack Horseman are being watched at the time, at the time when they're going to sleep. So the audiences are beginning their day with laughs and ending their day with a laugh. Plus also, there's a lot of learning happening at night. So Chef's Table is being watched at midnight. Globally, 15% of streaming happens between midnight and 6 a.m., and even rises as high as 21% in Japan and South Korea. What are they watching? 24% increase in documentaries, including titles like Abstract, Making a Murderer, and Planet Earth. So the pursuit for quality entertainment and knowledge doesn't dim when the lights go out. And Netflix says, Netflix time is any time. When viewers fit TV watching around their daily lives rather than the other way, we see streaming in India peaking at 5 p.m. to as late as 10 p.m. in Argentina and Singapore. I now will call on stage Jamie to give us some insights on what he sees global trends. Jamie is the digital head of BARC.